wish you were here by my side. Your song in my ear, your hand on my thigh. The highway is clear, unlike my mind. I'm dreaming as I drive. I've been inside my own head for days, but this fantasy is keeping me away. I wanna get lost in the night, stuck at a road stop neither of us like. Eat till we talk, laugh till we cry. Tell me it's not too late. I wanna get lost and miss the signs. I never liked adventure, but you changed.
Hey there, Asher.
Sleep with the stars, lose track of time. Tell me it's not too late to try.
Harley Man, how are you?
Tell me
Hey,
it's
Kern.
not too late. We could see the world, you and I. There's no place on this earth that isn't better with your hand in mine.
Just taking a few to get myself completely situated. The day kind of got away from that.
And now I'm dreaming as I drive. I've been inside my own head for days, watching you kiss all my breath away. Getting tired of the twists and the turns we take, but at least this fantasy is
Nice.
keeping me away.
That is what I like to hear.
I wanna get lost in the night, stuck in a small town
Yes.
nobody can find. Eat till we
Good to see you, sir.
laugh till we cry. Tell me it's not too late. I wanna get lost and miss the signs. I never liked adventure, but you changed my mind. Sleep in your arms, tell me it's
Probably might be microphone placement might be helping, but I think I also turned up the gain and such a bit.
I know we made mistakes and messed up the navigation, but let's find another way then, because I want you in my life. Where do you wanna go? I promise we'll take it slow, get lost on all the back roads. Oh, just tell me we can try. In the night, stuck at a road stop, neither of us like. Till we talk, laugh till we cry. Tell me it's not too late. I wanna get lost and miss the signs. I never liked adventure, but you changed my mind. Sleep with the stars, lose track of time. Tell me it's not too late. I wanna get lost in the night, stuck at a road stop, neither of us like. Tell me it's not too late. Lost for you. I never liked adventure, but you changed my mind. Sleep with the stars, lose track of time. Tell me it's not too late.
All right. Yeah, so I last night I decided to like do a little cleanup on the computer, use a little the C cleaner utility, and I forgot that when I went and cleared out some of the stuff that it cleared out like a bunch of settings for my web browser things, and I was like, yep, need to re-sign into everything. The hockey awards thing, not the finals itself. I don't know what they're doing. Actually, they might be giving out some of their awards. I know they gave out the I know one of the awards was given out. The Norris Trophy was already given out or announced anyway. They might be announcing more. I don't know. Yeah. But so suddenly I realized, like, yeah, okay, that means I've got more work to do for this stream. And it, then work and everything else. Like, I really should eat something. That'd probably be a good idea. And now my dog is going to sit there and stare at me because he's decided that he really likes eating grass outside and he wants to go. So anyway, here we go. Squirrel, me. Tonight, well, first of all, welcome everyone and welcome to the TTRPG Theater. I am your host, Phantom NJ, otherwise known as Rob. Sometimes I might be in reverse. We're going to talk a little bit about Amazing Adventures tonight. And why would that be, you ask? Well, Troll Lord Games, the fine sponsor of this channel, Oh my God. I'm sitting there staring at a dog who's staring at me, and I'm waiting for the barking to come. Yeah, and that's one of the things, because actually, I guess I'll kind of get to that. One of the reasons, there's a couple of reasons I'm bringing this up. One is, TLG decided to do this thing called Summer of Siege, where they, ask people, have a bunch of streamers, asking them if they're interested in running, Troller Games products. And most of the focus was supposed to be on CNC because, Reforge just came out. And there we go. Hold on a second. Boy. I wonder how long it's going to take for him to realize that I am not going to do this again, because he was just out. Everyone say hi, Ollie. Not that he can hear you. There's no, audio back, but maybe he will feel it and just decide to, go snooze somewhere. He's got quite the vocals on him. I mean, he's going to go, he's not going to go and do anything though. He's going to stand there and he's going to eat grass because he keeps chewing on stuff and upsetting his stomach. And he's got to learn that he's not, doesn't make the schedule around here, though he thinks he does. I love you. Go lie down. So yeah, this is like the fun that I get to deal with. Actually, hold on a second. I realize that it is time for his heartworm medication. Of course, he thinks it's a treat. Maybe that will satisfy him and shut him up. It's it's a long shot, but we're going to go with it because otherwise he's going to drive me bonkers. One of these days, things are going to go exactly as planned. Seriously, I mean, one of these days. It's got to happen eventually, right? Law of averages and all that. Because I am freaking overdue. Come here. Come here. Sit. There you go. Dumbass, you dropped it in a bag. All right. Oh boy. Where were we? Right. So Summer of Siege having streamers run various games, and they were looking for a focus. I think they were initially tended to be a focus on Castles and Crusades. And I'm like, I've already got a CNC campaign going, and people, hopefully getting more, a couple more streams in during the summer. But let's do some amazing adventures because, really, honestly, it's too cool a freaking game not to get more focus. This is the new quote unquote reforged version. And he is not going to stop barking, so I will be right back. A little music for you while you wait.
Waking up with you for the thousandth time, sipping coffee and juice, reading the New York Times. Yeah. waking up with him before the sun. We pour coffee and then read the Chicago Sun. Yeah. He tells me that I've changed his life, and now he wants me as his wife. Well, we had a good run, was fun, goodbye. I still got you inside my head, playing every moment over and over again. I thought we'd survive, instead you're making heartbreak years of the heartbroken. You're making heartbreakers of the heartbroken. You know, he was a good man. I should have warned him. I should have warned him that I'm an imposter. How does it feel siring so many monsters? And all I am. I know that there's no restitution, babe. I'll never return to the person I once knew. No, don't say you made no contribution, babe. I let you burn right through. My heart isn't fireproof. And if I focus for a moment on the day that we met and really pay attention to the words that you said, would I recognize the compromise?
I'll give him this much. At least this time he legitimately had to go. Oh, man. So hopefully that's it with him for a bit. Right. Now I got to figure out where I was again. Real, professional setup we've got going on here. All the good stuff. All the squirrels one could possibly ask for, and then some. And you better not be looking for something to chew on. Go lie down. I know he's getting into something, and I can't figure out what it is for the life of me. But it's always fun. Because between here and his doggy daycare, it's and me working when on days he is home, it's like trying to figure out what he's getting into is a joy. Let me tell you. So, Summer Siege decided to do Amazing Adventures. As a matter of fact, I've got quite a bit of Amazing Adventures coming up. I've got quite a few things coming up, really. So I had gotten a question from one of my CNC players asked, if I was interested in doing an Amazing Adventures thing. And so that started, and today we ended up getting players 5 and 6. And let me cut to that just before. So, On Sunday, June 22nd at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we will be doing a Summer of Siege session. Don't Fear the Ripper. And yes, it is the Ripper. I don't know if it's Jack the Ripper. I don't think so, but who knows? An amazing adventure scenario, and it is actually part one of a trilogy. We're going to see part one, see how it goes, and then if everyone enjoyed themselves, we might bring them back for parts 2 and 3. We got Doc Shoulder. Those of you who watch our Ember of Empires campaign. Yeah, Doc is the one who actually came to me, asking if I was interested in running it. And I was like, yeah, no, absolutely. And, Coco, it's really, honestly, if you can find an open spot in her schedule, she's going to play. It's pretty much that straightforward. There's no mystery to that. Yes, she is. She's absolutely everywhere. And it's because she's delightful. She's a lot of fun. All right, Chris. Awesome. For those of you who have been, know where we all came from, or at least as far as my streaming stuff, you might know Theater Evie and Terry, Chicky D, otherwise known as, or his real name is Terry. They are over at Roll for Perception now, their own channel, doing lots and lots of stuff. Bunch of different games. They've got a play-by-post. I think they're doing Legends in the Mist as a play-by-post in their Discord. I just don't have that kind of time. I'd end up going a month without actually posting anything. And then DM Chris will be joining, and his wife will be joining us. They got to meet them both at GaryCon. So we have 6 people. Nice. That works. I have to. Cool. That good stuff. Big haul. I'll have to raid into Wiley then. So yeah, we're going to be doing some amazing adventures, and this adventure, it's kind of funny because I think part of the premise of the adventure, or as far as like the feel of the adventure, this is all going to take place in 1939. There may or may not be Nazis involved. It was kind of like billed a bit as Indiana Jones meets Call of Cthulhu, with the slight exception of the fact that for this particular type of game, or these particular type of games, the idea is you overcome the thing that's threatening to drive you mad, or cause you to just give in, not necessarily succumb to it, like COC kind of assumes. Very, very much, yeah. It is pure pulp, pure pulp fiction. I like to say the genre, not the movie, which is it's a fantastic movie, but if you're you think back to those pulp comic things, comics and stuff. And I'm almost to the point where, like, if you reimagine it as like a 1950s comic or 1940s comic, that's kind of where you end up. It's. I read one of the adventures, and using old-fashioned terminology for referring to people is just okay. You can have some fun with this. But yeah, that's going to be on the 22nd. I am also, I don't know if it's been scheduled yet. That's part of what we're figuring out. That's the next step as far as figuring out, because I only just filled spots 5 and 6 today. Finding people who were free on a Sunday who didn't have something else going on that was going to need them to leave early. Unfortunately, I had 2 people that were not going to be able to stay for the entire thing, so I have to find something else to put them in. I also want to look up at the classes. I think Doc Shoulder was interested in either playing a pugilist or a hooligan, which is interesting. I'm probably going to steer him towards the pugilist of the two. I have to check. I have to check on the hooligan. Um, and something with that in mind, let's get over back to the Amazing Adventures. One of the things that they did with the latest printing of Amazing Adventures is move it more in line with Castles and Crusades. They brought in a tighter integration between the two. Both have always had the Siege engine at the core of them, but some of the other things could be a little different. They wanted to bring it more in line. So, what we end up with is a game that really, it's weird because Castles and Crusades came first, but the way you would really look at this, if you're talking about one system and different games, it kind of ends up where Castles and Crusades is a very specific genre of Amazing Adventures. Because Amazing Adventures, you can basically do anything you want with it. You could run a game, you could create a game of superheroes if you wanted to. You could do, a series of Humphrey Bogart movies. I mean, it's like, steampunk is probably the one that you wouldn't do. They have another game for that, though it's currently out of print. I don't know if the PDFs are available. That would be Victorious. I mean, there's other ways to go about it, but you've got all kinds of interesting things that you can do with Amazing Adventures. Again, Castle and Crusades is very, it's a very fantasy, high fantasy, low fantasy, whatever you want to call it, swords and sorcery, etc. type game. But one of the things we have, just like, again, it uses the Siege engine. So you got your primary attributes, your secondary attributes. Probably the one difference is everybody here is more or less human. I don't remember if there's a way to, there probably is a way to create characters that are not quite human. But I think the assumption is that everyone is more or less human, or they just basically treat it that way. Hey, Draga here. What I do like, though, is the character classes. So, I mean, for the character classes, we've got a bunch of them. There's the Acrobat, the Arcanist, the Demon Hunter, the Duelist, the Feral, the Gadgeteer, or sometimes if you want to refer to it as Powered. Basically, they're using equipment. Think the Rocket Man. I mean, there's a probably Flash Gordon, maybe. I'm not sure if that would actually count. I mean, heck, you could call Iron Man Powered. There's the Gunslinger, the Hooligan, the Investigator, the Mentalist, the Pirate, the Pugilist. Lord Gazumbo, welcome. Good to see you, Jay. Let's get a shout out for Lord Gazumba. There we go. The Raider, the Socialite, the Soldier, and the Zen Archer. Looking at the Acrobat, like the Acrobat, I mean, if this isn't inspired by the Thief Acrobat from Unearthed Arcana and AD&D 1E, I will eat my shoe. Even if that, even if that wasn't exactly a conscious thought, it's that class. It's got all kinds of interesting stuff, um, which is cool. I think it fit. Honestly, I think it fits better in this type of game. You can, you can envision an acrobatic class really more in this, because of the fact that though this game can have combat. Um, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's not probably not going to be quite as prevalent, maybe as in CNC. Maybe. It could go either way, but it's like doing the cool stuff. The Arcanist is it's pretty much I not, here's where things get interesting because the Arcanist actually uses was it I forgot what MEP stands for. Is it magic energy points? Um, I almost consider it more like a sorcerer than a wizard. Um, as a matter of fact, if I was going to do a CNC sorcerer, I would just basically import the Arcanist whole hog. Just bring it right on over. I'd have to look to see how it. I'd have to take a closer look. I haven't looked too deeply into the class and how it works, but you get the idea. I mean, it's a very one of the very varied classes here. Ah, the Demon Hunter, which I probably should just import this right in to CNC. Um, Again, I need to take a look at the class and make sure that it doesn't go quite, doesn't go overboard. But it definitely has a very paladin like vibe to it. Um, though it's interesting because they have supernatural senses and occult knowledge as abilities, as well as sense the darkness. Um, you know, it Demon Hunter. I don't even know if Demon Hunter is the right term. Van Helsing, yeah, I would. I think Van Helsing is probably a pretty accurate description for this. I like the fact I'm amused by the fact that they call it a Demon Hunter and the text that they have focuses on facing a vampire. They probably could have gone with Undead Hunter, but whatever. D12 hit die, yeah, beefy. Oh man, the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure I could swear that Jason created an Undead Hunter for CNC that he posted somewhere. Um, either that, or it was the Demon Hunter, and he just got it added to the latest printing. Well, I mean, the monk is kind of a meat bag in in CNC. Then you have the duelist, which is kind of fun. I like this. Consider this the Inigo Montoya class. Uh, but that's a whole lot of abilities. It's interesting how it just takes a few abilities and they just keep getting takes a few bit and keeps getting better. Not a fan of this class. That's actually that's a good one. That would be a good one. Well, he's very very special. The Duelist is very specialized at what they do. Plus, the improved ability to fight with two weapons is interesting. I like how they a spider sense as well. We move on to the feral. Um, is the feral basically a lycanthrope? Is that what we're going with here? Or is it just a bit of cat or animal within? The feral is a man or a woman who was raised away from the trappings of civilization. So it's Tarzan. Hey Keith, good to see you. Craven's probably another one. Craven or Tarzan. Okay. Yeah, who is at home in the wild, a lord or lady of the trees and beasts. Ferals are not at home in the mass and press of humanity, as found in the city streets. But put them in the jungle, you'll see a true master at work. The archetypical feral character is a person born into privilege in the civilized world, who lost their parents to the jungle as a toddler and was raised by apes. Hello, Tarzan. All right. And then the Gadgeteer or Powered. Yep. Yep. All right. So I think the idea is here the powers either they've got gadgets or they have inherent powers. Not entirely sure how we're supposed to take that. Superpowers. All right. Inspector Gadget. I mean, Iron Man is like the high end of that. Cyborgs, you know, there we go. Uh, the old fashioned gunslinger. Well, Dragon here, it's not necessarily. It can be sci-fi. You can go the sci-fi route, absolutely. You can go the straight up Indiana Jones type adventure. As we've seen, you can also do a Tarzan style adventure. You can do Indiana Jones meets Tarzan, because that could be a thing. The Yeah, straight up gunslinger. Shoot from the hip. I like this. I like this. The gunslinger. I could probably have some fun with the gunslinger. Oh man, Han Solo. Yeah, okay. I can see that. Well, I mean, they got Doc Holliday. They put Billy the Kid, Doc Holliday, Bat Masterson. Um, let's take a look at the hooligan. A slick combination of mental acumen and hand-eye coordination, the hooligan is a foe to be feared and an acquaintance never to be trusted. Hooligans tend to be chaotic or neutral in disposition, though there do exist thieves with honor that have their own code. Though the distribution of abilities of this class makes practitioners of the shadow arts that are of lawful and good persuasion rare beyond rare. the hooligan. A friend of mine who sadly passed away last year. The hooligan. If we ever played Amazing Adventures, he would play the hooligan 9 out of 10 times. Because the idea of playing a character who was supposed to be at best chaos, what do you call it? At best chaotic neutral. Oh boy. Case target, climb, hide. So basically, an Amazing Adventures thief. Okay, a rogue, I should say. Though without the pretend I'm Han Solo. Not the scruffy good guy. That's a pretty cool idea, Jeff. Then we have the investigator, which I think was renamed. I could be wrong, but I think it used to be the gumshoe. The hard-boiled detective, be it private investigation or homicide, who with their trusty snub-nosed revolver always finds themselves in way over their head. The investigator is a specialist in tracking down and capturing fugitives from the law, uncovering conspiracies and schemes, and outing victims to the public. Hard-boiled PIs, homicide detectives, and FBI agents all fall into this category, as do hard-nosed reporters who will stop at nothing to track down a story. Definitely. Sam Spade. There we go. I feel like Magnum PI is I mean, he would qualify as an investigator, but I feel like he's a little too light side for this nut. The description of it goes with more gritty feel to it. I mean, obviously, all about the type of game you want to play, and if you want to play something a little more light and fun, yeah, Magnum PI would be perfect. And here's a class that was brought Asher brought into CNC, and I probably will myself, but I also need to go take a look at what creatures, the psychic powers of creatures, because we have the mentalist. So psionics, psionics, psionics. Uh, Description: not all mystical power arises from alien forces or from the arcane energy that permeates the lands. Some men and women have the ability to call on special inner reserves of strength and ability, reserves that manifest as a power commonly known as mentalism or psionics. With a colorful assortment of psychic abilities at their disposal, the mentalist leads the way in matters of the occult. But this power comes with an exacting toll. Mainstream society tends to distance itself from them out of fear and mistrust for a type of power they neither have nor can understand. Arcanists, too, shy away from the mentalist, perhaps bitter towards the mentalist's ability to naturally call forth powers that arcanists must work long and hard to achieve. Oh yeah, psionics was the proverbial redheaded stepchild of AD&D. It was something that was tacked on after the fact, um, and it seemed like every time they tried to fix it, it just changed. Not necessarily in a good way. I'm still shocked that they managed to come out with in second edition a complete psionics handbook. It's probably the only way anyone was ever going to make sense of the class, make sense of it as a class, especially since the that's not fun, Dragair. Good luck with that. Especially since the first edition wasn't even a class unto itself; it was just abilities that your character might possibly have. And really, all it did in first edition was made you more susceptible to other things out there. It's like, why is this a good idea? But yes, The Mentalist. Then we have The Pirate, the scourge of the seven seas, the terror of an Amazon River area, or a sci-fi smuggler with a conscience. Hey, Han Solo. Well, actually, maybe not. Maybe not Han Solo. Anyone, the crew of Serenity, the crew of the Firefly, I should say, or Serenity, I should say, the ship. I have to like remember Serenity is the ship, Firefly is the class of the ship. Smuggler with a conscience, pirates are men and women who combine the abilities of mercenaries and tongues, and rogues to plunder others for riches and pleasure. Some pirates are of a more noble bent, acting as privateers for their sovereign state. Others take to plunder out of desperation, having been cast off from a normal life. Aluminum Falcon. Oh, man, that's a good one. I like that. Pirate sounds like a fun class. This is one of those things where, I mean, you could bring it over to CNC, but I wouldn't even know what to do with it. Here, it actually works better because you can make real use of it. Then, of course, there's the Pugilist, your basically Amazing Adventures version of the Monk. But to heck with lots of they're a master of hand-to-hand combat, a professional boxer, traveling martial artist, or a lily pit fighter. So you can play whatever flavor of hand-to-hand combatant you want. You're not necessarily just tied to a Shaolin style monk. So lots of fun with that. But yeah, no, they're basically the Amazing Adventures version of a monk. Next, we've got the Raider. Tomb Raider, anyone? Lara Croft, I guess it was. Raider is an adventuring scholar who plumbs deep tombs in search of the Indiana. Well, also Indiana Jones would really technically be a raider. Raiders of the Lost Ark. There we go. Are well schooled and many hold positions as historical researchers or professors of ancient civilizations or religions. What's the other show and like made for TV movies? The Librarians. They're historians, archaeologists, anthropologists, and seekers of knowledge, as well as treasure and fortune. Yep. We definitely have our Indiana Jones character here. The Socialite. The connected diplomat or wealthy debutante with money, power, and prestige to match their pretty face. This person has the looks, connections, and personal magnetism to open doors when guns are a bad idea. While many socialites come from rich families, not all are wealthy unto themselves. A socialite can be temporarily or permanently cut off from family funds for disgracing their family name, or even just because their parents want them to live and learn to live on their own. Alternatively, they could be new money, an up and coming movie starlet, or the spouse of a country boy turned senator. This is one of those things where this is the class where, yeah, you really need to be ready to role play because you are probably going to end up being the face of the party if you are playing as a socialite. I would think so. Though it looks like all of their abilities work off charisma. Uh, huh. All right. Well, that's fine. They're sort of like a bard without uh, the fascinate. There we go. That ability again. I hate the Fascinate and the Bard, but here it might work a little better. Then you have the straight up soldier, professional warrior who specializes in strategy, tactics, and coordinated battle. More than that, however, soldiers stand for something. They are, in general, men and women who appreciate order and stand up ideals. Even soldiers of the mercenary variety tend to follow a code of honor that binds them to their compatriots. And while the almighty dollar might be their driving force, they tend to be loyal to their employer. Okay. Interesting class to be playing, especially in a game that's kind of set in the a lot of their adventures are set like in the late 1930s. And then finally, we've got the Zen Archer. Uh, Asher, have you looked at this one and seen how it compares to the Archer in the the Adventurer's Backpack? It's interesting that they use their wisdom bonus rather than the dexterity bonus when attacking with a bow. I gotta take a look at this to see how they compare. Um, I note that they don't get well their initiative bonus doesn't happen until level 3 and it's only a +2. Doesn't even get and well maybe I'm not sure if that's every round though. I'll have to take a look. Blinding speed. At level 3 if the Zen Archer has a bow in hand. Yeah, okay. So it's got the same ability that the Archer in CNC has in the Adventurer's Backpack, except this one starts off lower. They don't get it till 3rd level, and then it grows up to the +4 at level 10, where in CNC it just starts at +4. I'll take a look side by side, see if I like this one better. But yeah, those are the classes. Lots of interesting classes to choose from. It's gonna be a fun time. Uh, I mentioned that I've got other things going on, so I'm waiting to get confirmation. But for those of you who are in fans of Guild Superior, um, and I don't remember what I used for their thing. Hold on a second. Chat commands. I did just make it guild. All right, there we go. Uh, Guild Superior, Dave's done an interesting thing where he's basically having people volunteer to run community games in their Discord. I did put in to have run some amazing adventures, running a different adventure than the one being shown that we're going to be doing in my stream. Um, uh, I'm waiting on confirmation that the game has been scheduled or that he was able to put it on the schedule. I'll have more details. Hopefully by next week, by next Thursday, I should have more details on that. But yeah, it's going to be at least one session purely in the Guild Superior Discord. Whenever it ends up actually happening, there will be a session 0 of the week before. Dave makes it and I'm good with that. Doing a session 0 beforehand, so that everyone's on the same page. Especially with Amazing Adventures, it's probably a really good idea because some of the content can be a little risque depending on how you want to do it. Yeah, I am waiting. I've got, according to from what Ty tells me, I have the first copy of New of Arden that's coming off when it's done with the presses. I've got the first copy coming to me, and I can't wait. I've got the PDFs. I've got the PDF already. And actually, as soon as it ships, and actually as soon as it arrives, I'll be arranging with Ty. Ty is going to be a guest on this show. I want to have the book in hand because I want to be able to show it off. I can show the PDF, but it's not nearly as cool as having the book. But yeah, I will be, what do you call it? I will be interviewing Ty for it. I've known Ty for, oh God, I think it was 4 years ago. I was in one of the very first streamed beta tests or play tests of New of Arden, and Ty and we've kept in touch ever since. He's played. Actually, he's got a character in the Embers of Empire campaign. He's played in other one shots with me. So, and I got to play New of Arden with him at at GaryCon, which was cool. Got to finally meet him in person after knowing him for 3-4 years. Oh, so Jeff, you were in that game. Okay. I remember Coco being there because she messaged me because I lost track of time and I nearly missed it. I ended up going, I didn't lose track of time. I completely mismanaged time is what it was, because I should not have gone back to bring my stuff back to the lodge, not the lodge, the vacation club, which I did, and then I realized that I need to get back for the game because I've got Courtney messaging me asking me where I am, which was cool. I'd forgotten. I see you so often at GaryCon, like we keep running into each other, that I can't remember where I saw you and where I did not see you. Oh man. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having Ty on when it arrives, and we'll talk about that. Talk about the process of creating the idea of creating a game from scratch, and where this all began. And it's going to be a fun discussion because for those of you who have not checked out New of Arden, it's a very different game. Really, honestly, it's a very different TTRPG than any other that I've played. Because you're playing a bunch of characters who they don't really have. There's no archetype. It's not really any normal TTRPG archetypes that you're used to. It's hard to explain. I don't want to give too much away because what some games might call classes or even races, they just have cultures, and the cultures are every single culture is based on something very specific. And I thought it was a very unique way to look at a game world and a game system. Also, it gives your lonesome D4s something to do because the game is D4 based. I might want to get some more of those D4s that are not the garden punk. I like it. I like it. One of the reasons I really love the game is because Ty just basically lets me describe my character doing stuff however the hell I want. And I tend to play one particular culture. I'm an Asgal from beginning to end, and it's fun toying with the being an aspect of sound. But yeah, that'll be coming at sometime in the summer. I know the books are in the process of being printing. I don't know. I don't have details as far as when they're actually shipping. I've already paid for my shipping, so it should be coming at some point. So let's see. I mentioned the Guild Superior stuff in their Discord. We talked about New of Arden. One more thing I should mention is Tuesday. This coming Tuesday is my birthday. And so what are we doing for my birthday? Well, we're not doing it here. I am going to be playing some CNC with Guild Superior. I will be joining Dave, Anna Meyer, Jose Ortiz. I have to go see who else is playing. Thank you. Um, we will be playing. I think we're starting at 8 Eastern. I could be wrong. It might be 90. I have to check the timing on that. I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, probably Flea Monkey. But yeah, we're gonna have, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I got my character. I will be playing. I'll be playing a cleric, so it'll be my job in in this particular adventure, keeping everybody alive. Okay. Yeah, I'll just confirm. I'm sure Dave had sent me the times. It's probably in a chat somewhere. But yeah, that so I've got some CNC coming up. Uh, I do need to put together another CNC group for the campaign. I've got to find. I've got to find a group and a time slot because Coco's got like 2 characters in the campaign, and one of her groups is just so rarely be able to get them together that and then the other character was in a group for a one shot, and I want to get her into a regular game, get a few people with her, and get a second group so that I've got games going more often. I want to get more CNC out there. Plus, I've been plus the other thing is, Friday night, tomorrow night will be session 5 of Friday Night Crusades in my Discord, where the party has now taken on escort duties for a caravan. They've met the group. They've met the caravan leader. They've met a couple of the hired muscle that the caravan have already, and we will see where they go from there as they leave their small little trading post, possibly eventually turning into a village. For the first time, and they head west. So, is it session 6? I'll have to look. You might be right. So there's that. All right, so we do have this raffle going on, and as of right now, I've got exactly 1 entry for the raffle. So exclamation point ticket to enter. High price escort. Oh, only the best, Jeff. Only the best. There we go. And as soon as as soon as we're ready with that, I will be sending us over to Lord Gazumbo, whose stream. Oh, we got 3 of us. 3 of you now. Come on, all you shy people! Exclamation point ticket. We'll be sending you over to Lord Gazumbo. Let's get with the stream ending screen. Thank you all for hanging out and this little rambling journey into Amazing Adventures. I realize we didn't go all that deep, but it's been that kind of day. So we got some stuff done. I'll take it. Good to see you all. Let's close the giveaway. Last chance. Closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Closing the giveaway. Drawing winner. Keith, congratulations. I will get that to you. And helps when I can actually type. One other cool thing I noticed is, and I still haven't figured out what I want to do for these type of milestones, is apparently 3 days ago I hit 400 followers on Twitch, which was really cool. Maybe for 500 we'll do something special. All right. See you all on the flip side. See you. Hopefully, see you in the viewing of Guild Superior next Tuesday for my birthday game. And otherwise, I will see you around the Twitches and Discords. Get those raid emotes ready in 3, 2, 1. Bye now.